So I had to go to the minister. Say, Minister, this will cause us defeat. And even our own people are disgruntled. So if you can do something about it. If you remember very well, they extended the date. Okay? It's because I spoke to him. Then he said, well, there's nothing he can do. And you saw the former Chief Justice.
Vivi, I interview on the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. And son of Bible call a praise worship was a Thanksgiving or ne as of 1 year. Honorable Dinkomobi, and I'm best me mamuina muti as a ma or kaye, or fifi a fidino so. It be aware in Yakoyan TB. Almost 1 hour, and we din common. My pickets are uncommon, a fifi Pan African page so. And I'm the other took one other page and be see tear somewhere honorable kai. Wait me to comment a comment section.
Extraordinary personality. Somebody who has all kinds of ideas and somebody who has a lot of vim. And we're going to be talking about the MPP presidential primaries. Welcome to Talk Time.
A convenience. Let me see your hand.
Well, welcome back to Talk Time. And as I indicated from the very beginning, this is a very special interview. And it is my privilege to welcome to the studio, our studio at 48 Swanika Street at Belengpe, the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Honorable, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
Honorable, we understand that you want to be presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. Is that right?
Yeah, not just presidential candidate, but president.
President of Ghana?
Yes. We just don't need presidential candidate, but we need president.
Of Ghana?
Of Ghana.
Yes, sir. Oh, what convinces you that you are the best person for the New Patriotic Party?
Okay. My answer is simple. First, I have role models. And the role models, they are pragmatic ones. A pragmatic leader like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. When you look at the existing infrastructure in this country, about 60% of it was done by Nkrumah in the period of 9 years, from 1957 to 66. And up to now, we have not been able to match what he did. I go around the country and I see the works of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And he's been my role model. If any president in Ghana that I want to beat his record is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Wow.
And if you give me 8 years, I'll beat his record. Why I want to be president is that, one, we need a selfless leader. Two, we need a bold leader. Three, we need a decisive leader. And four, we need a pragmatic leader. Enough is enough of the theories. We've been propounding theories, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I feel, first, we are not on top of the game because we have to be brilliant on the basics. What I mean by brilliant on the basics is that this morning I met some youth and they are into coconut, mango production, and I was educating them how they can take it further by the coconut juice. I gave them example of Waitrose in London, where you go, Indonesia produce this coconut juice, and on the UK market is 75p. They didn't know all these things. Coconut, you can use, you peel it, and the husk can be used for fertilizer. It can be used for charcoal. The coconut itself, they are growing. I don't know what informed them, but they don't know even about coconut oil. So this is what I mean by the basics. The mangoes that they are producing, they can dry them and becomes like a biscuit. There's so many things. The pineapple, I told them, pineapple, we can use pineapple. When you peel it off, what you are going to throw away, you can use it for perfume.
Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, perfume. Then you don't know the branches. When you go to Kenya, you see, they use it for sneakers. Pineapple, Kwasi, plantain, and banana, the stem. We use it for this carpet here. Then the fugu, the thread that they use for fugu, is also from, you can use plantain stem. They use it for diapers. They use it for tampers. But here, we throw them away. Cassava. We can produce or use cassava to produce about 32 different products. If you go to Thailand, then they put biscuit, cassava biscuit. You won't believe it. That is coming from cassava. Can use cassava for starch. I always say that cassava is more important than gold and more important than cocoa. Because one product, if you can use it for one raw material, that you can use it for over 32 products, then gold can match it. And the essentials in it, the starch, almost every pharmaceutical industry, the tablets we swallow when we are sick, they put starch in it. So the demand for starch from our cassava that we use for garli, agbelema, fufu, and all those things, we can do better than that. We use cassava for ethanol. What are we doing? This is what I mean by basics. We have to be brilliant on the basics. When we go to maize, because you'll be surprised that Ghanaians, about 90% of the population, do not know that we have maize oil. One important personality, top official, came to my house in New Jersey. I was talking about this. He didn't know. I drove him to Whole Foods and bought a gallon of it. He said Mazola corn oil. And the corn is there. You see it. The labeling. You can use corn for ethanol as well. In Brazil uses sugarcane for the ethanol. America uses corn for ethanol. And this ethanol that I'm talking about, we have companies in Ghana here that import 2.1 million tons of ethanol. The last time I checked in 2022, it was $962 per ton on the world market. So if you are buying 2.1 million tons, you're clocking $2 billion. Wow. Meanwhile, we can use 47,000 acres of maize farm, 2 seasons, which is 94,000 acres straight, and you can produce 2.1 million ethanol, which is equivalent to $2 billion. What are we doing?
You don't have to go to IMF.
Case closed. So that is what I mean by we have to be brilliant on the basics. Without this, those talking about inflation, interest rate, the growth of GDP and all those things, it will not work. Because the fundamentals are weak completely. So we have to be pragmatic in all our decisions. Kwasi, do you know that this is chipboards? All these that you see, like the wood, is chipboards. Either from the main sawmill, the byproduct that they're going to try. I was going to Bia East and I saw them burning it. Meanwhile, they use it for this. And sugarcane. sugar cane, when you take the sugar out, you get ethanol. After ethanol, the byproduct, they compress it and they get chipboards. After the chipboards, the last byproduct, they use it to generate power. Almost every sugar plant that I visited in India, Kulapu, Lokna, and all those things, they generate their own electricity. And excess is supplied to the national grid with sugarcane. So what they were doing at Central Region, I was just laughing. They don't know what to do.
So, Honorable, if you have these ideas, you know, great ideas, want to rival Nkrumah or beat Nkrumah and so on, how come that some people close to you in your party appear to be putting obstacles in your way?
Well, Kwasi, you have been in politics for so long. It's part of the game.
To put obstacles in the way of something which
because
is good for the country?
sometimes the truth hurts. I mean, telling you that people are being theorists, that alone affects some people. They are not pragmatic. They will talk about GDP. They will talk about interest rate. They will talk about inflations. Meanwhile, they are not brilliant on the basics as I've given you. So obviously, when you say that, it weakens them and they tend to hate you. Instead of embracing your ideas and sharing these ideas, your vision with you, they tend to hate you. So, you know, in politics, that's the nature of the game. So I'm okay with it.
What is your track record in the party? Are you a founding member of the party? When did you join? What have you done to build this party?
Oh, I've done a lot for the party. Well, when you say founding members who sign, no. But we're the founding members when culture of silence, nobody could talk or speak. And the Ohene started speaking, we all joined. So I joined this party when it was Dankwa Buzia Domo. And it was a man called Tanai Yabwachi. He was an ambassador, UN ambassador during Buzia's time. And after the coup, he stayed in America. That's the father of Ohene. Ochehene's father. He used his apartment to start this organization, as we call it, Dankwa Buzia Domo. Then it grew. We changed it to NPP. So I've been part of it from 1991. Then came back in Ghana to support Ohene and all those things. And I never gave up. Ohene time, I stayed here for about 8 months. When I went back to America, I had lost everything and had to start life again. You know, I've done so many things for the party. And sometimes when we say it, they say, Agyapong, whatever he does, he talks about it.
Why not?
I don't know. This
Why not?
is my biggest problem in the party. I can tell you today that there's a proverb which says, a sheep sweats, but we don't see it, feel it, because of
The skin.
the skin. If I tell you what I went through, a whole officials planning that he should silence Kennedy Agyapong, don't give him businesses anymore, because when he gets money, he will be too powerful in the party. And they screwed me up. From 2021 to 2024, it was August 2024 that I got a contract.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you survive?
I've told you, I'm a pragmatic person. And I build businesses not based on politics. I build businesses looking at the demand of Ghanaian population. And I make sure I do quality things so that wherever you go, irrespective of my party affiliation, because you know I give out or sell quality products, you are forced to come to me. That is why I've survived. I can tell you, my co-stores, I'm the only person who has built co-stores with ammonia, the ammonia system. The Freon is not expensive, but the ammonia is very, very expensive. And mine can go as low as low temperature, minus 25 degrees. So it attracts a lot of people. They come, just they say, after taxes, somebody has given me $24,000, 3 months for renting one room. He has no choice because he doesn't want his fish or chicken to get spoiled. So he needs good systems. And I build good systems. So it has nothing to do with politics. They will come because they want quality product. That is how I've survived.
But
I will tell you, I will not be ungrateful. The first term, I also got contracts. Why not? But the last time MPP people are here, the arguments they make, they don't know that it was deliberate attempt to collapse Agyapong.
But they didn't succeed.
No, it didn't work. But it worked because now they need money to fund the party and they don't have it.
I was going to come to that. I mean, this is a party with people like you. Obviously not just with a few others. And in the beginning of the year, we heard that party workers were not being paid at all. How come? That there are big people like you, resourceful people like you, and party people were not getting paid. What happened? What went wrong?
I'll tell you the gospel truth. I believe we are all Ghanaians. But if people sacrifice their life to make you whoever you are, the only thing you have to do is to reward them and appreciate their efforts. It was unfortunate that we did not help a lot of people. People looking for appointment, they will tell them we are not here because of MPP. People looking for jobs, they will tell them. People that went for MPP, they will tell them to go online. Sometimes, even recruitment, they have to go through hell. This is why it caused apathy among our party people. And they decided not to go and vote. One minister told me how he lost. In his constituency, he said around 2 p.m., the young ones were standing outside. He asked them to go and vote and said, we are not going to vote. Because when we were looking for a job, they were charging us.
Wow.
So we are not going to vote. And truly, he lost the election. So the apathy, one reason is party neglect. Yeah, I have to look, whatever I'm telling you today, they will insult me, they will do everything, but that's the gospel truth. They don't want the truth to be told, but that's the truth. We step on so many toes. They show some videos about Agyapong. He said this, he's not a presidential material. And if they are not being diabolic and you listen carefully, it was an advice I was giving them and criticizing some bad deeds of the party people. But now they use it against me. During the campaign, I've been quiet because during the campaign, they wrote 10 sins of Agyapong. That's why I apologize to President Mahama. Because he's been very nice to me. He loved me. He loves me and everything. His wife. But because of party, I ignored this relationship and criticized him. And I have to be honest, I was harsh. Only for me now to come out, when I was criticizing NDC, my party was happy. But when I decided to contest, was the time that they used all the things against me. All the things I used to defend NDC became a sin. And they circulate around 10 sins of Agyapong. So now I'm quiet. Because my argument is, in the Bible, they have 10 commandments. And since Abraham's time, they've not added one to it to make 11. So 10 sins of Agyapong, I'll not go and say anything for you to add 11 sins or 12 sins. That is why I'm quiet.
But how can you campaign when you're quiet?
No, campaigning, like what is going on, I can say a few things about mistakes NDC is making. But now I'm not going to say it. Country broke, broke, we day inside.
Well, viewers, I promised you, we are in a conversation with Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. And as you do know, Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is aspiring to be president of Ghana. I said he wanted to be presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. He says no, president of Ghana. We're going to go for a short break, and when we come back, I'd like to ask him a rather difficult question. I'd like to ask him this question. The people that you contested with, you believed that you were better than them, or that you could do better than them, but in the end, you followed them. Why? Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, I'll pose this question to the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Short break.
A convenience. LPG, let me see your hand.
Welcome back to Talk Time, and we are in conversation with Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, presidential aspirant, president of Ghana, not presidential candidate of NPP. And he's in the studio, and we're having a very good conversation. My question, Honorable, you told us that some people could not take us to the promised land. Then you lost, and then we found you with the people who could not take us to the promised land. What happened?
Well, the mere fact that I was campaigning doesn't mean I'm against the party. If you're a true party man, in contests, you can win, you can lose. So if you lose the election, you don't quit. You don't quit. That is why I joined. I'm still an MPP man. That is why I joined the campaign. And if I had not done that, look at what happened today. Can I even have the courage to say that I'm going to contest? No. Those who didn't have the patience and left, now they cannot come back and contest. So I decided to stay and look at what God has for me, in store for me in future. And we're back again. You know, those days I was telling them the truth and they didn't listen. Rather, they used it against me that I was destroying the party. But let me take opportunity to explain. In March 2022, I had about 240 million cedis in 6 banks waiting for a contract. It delayed, and after that it didn't happen because I came out openly to contest. I gave a contractor $100,000 to buy doors from Turkey for me. And the invoice he gave me was 600,000 cedis. In August, when the goods arrived, he needed 100,000 to clear them, and he came. The invoice of $100,000 in August 2022 was 1,550,000.
Why?
Yeah, because of cedi depreciation. I was shocked. So when I gave the check, then I went back to calculate. In March 2022, the 240 million cedis was equivalent to $40 million because it was 6 cedis to $1. That is why I gave him 100,000 and he gave me invoice of 600. The same 100,000 in August 2022, it was 1,550,000. I went upstairs and started calculating the value in dollars. The $40 million in March 2022 was 15,483,000. If you like, strike 240 million divided by 1.550 and you see $15,483,000 from $40 million. Money in the banks that have not used, taking risk to do business and
all gone.
Yeah. Just sitting in the bank, the depreciation, I lost almost $25 million. Am I the only businessman in this country? Colleagues, businessmen were also going through the same. And when they see me, they say, you people, we are waiting for you. I went to a great bank to transfer money to a Chinese supplier. And they gave me the rate. I said, wow, it's too expensive. Can you do something? For the first time, the lady, anytime I went there, she was quiet, never talked about politics. But this time, she was behind me when I was talking to her junior colleague. Then she retorted, then I must say, when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. Also, the amount I was shocked.
She could say that to you?
Yes. A week later, I went to a great bank. There was a beautiful lady, we always joke. I got there, cracking the jokes. Normally she would laugh, but this time she was cold. Then I asked her, I said, honorable, we couldn't jam me podia. So how can you make such a statement? And can Oforiata's form, whatever you call it, was on her desk. And she was crying because she said in her sleep, the husband will wake her up. Why? What is wrong? Well, according to her, the husband will hear her say, sigh, and she's not even aware. In her subconscious, she's thinking of, the money that she's lost and everything. And her problem was that she did not tell the husband that she had invested the money. So she couldn't tell the husband. Another time, one deputy chief executive, MPP, called me, said, Honorable, she was a nurse in UK, came back, invested a pension in these bonds. Now, and listen to what she said. Say, I did finance in Toronto, University of Toronto. But what Ken Oforiatta has brought, I don't even understand. Then I jokingly said, but you did finance University of Toronto, and me, I said, don't middle school. Yeah. You see how you cracking up the same way. Then she said, Honorable, look, I'm not joking. It's serious. So I had to go to the minister. Say, Minister, this will cause us defeat. And even our own people are disgruntled. So if you can do something about it. If you remember very well, they extended the date. Okay? It's because I spoke to him. Then he said, well, there's nothing he can do. And you saw the former Chief Justice picketing. So during my campaign, I told them, anybody in that administration, he lost the election in 2022. Because Ghanaians have decided that they'll get rid of us. And they used that against me, that I caused their defeat. And you think Ghanaians that were suffering?
Because you spoke the truth.
Yeah. They use that. Some candidates go around, because of him, we lost the election. Did I say that when the fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you? The lady quoted it at the Great Bank. Did I say that I'm going to lock the dollar, is under lock and key, and give it to police or whatever? And you think I'm the only smartest human being in this country that did not listen or heard? And when they are losing their business and take a decision, now you use it against me that I caused the defeat. Today is an opportunity for me to explain this. Look at NBC adverts. The number of adverts, what Baumia said that they used against him, and compare to the number of adverts they said I have said that. They've never been fair. You see, they've never been fair. But I leave it to God. All the things I said was a caution to them. If they had listened to me, there wouldn't have been this humiliating defeat ever. But they didn't listen. Because the whole party machinery was against Kennedy Agyapong.
But Honorable, those who didn't want you to win, let me put it mildly, those who didn't want you to win, they are still there. So what convinces you that this time round you will win? The people who obstructed you, they are still there.
They don't have the power.
Okay.
They don't have the power. This time, Obia Nubia. People are not afraid of them. They were coerced. They were threatened. MCs, they were forced. If not, they'll remove you. Chief executives, they'll remove you. Ministers, they'll remove you. And few of them, I can quote Edward Boateng, who openly supported me. They sacked him when he not sacked as such. When he was 60, a day before 60, they asked him to pack.
They couldn't wait.
Yes. So they threatened a lot of people, and they were afraid. Some to lose their jobs, they had to stay wherever to make sure. But because we're not bold, look at what happened. We lost.
Well, we see some of the things still happening. MPs, they jump into buses and cars and they go and pledge allegiance to one candidate. Former DCs and MCs, they pack themselves into cars, they go and pledge allegiance to one candidate. This is what happened. It's happening again.
You see, let me tell you, Kwasi.
Yes, sir.
You should, as a leader, you should have your strategy. Do you know the number of people who have come to me? But I say, let's work together. I don't do those optics. So I'm not scared. Even when 136 parliamentarians were against me, only Cynthia Morrison, Honorable Cynthia Morrison, came out to support me. And you see what they did to her. So it means all those who were in position of trust, MCs, DCs, ministers, they were right not to have supported me because they would have been sacked like they did to Cynthia Morrison. They ganged up to make sure that he lost the primaries because he supported Kennedy. So I forgive all those people that out of fear voted against me. This time, they have the freedom and the right to choose a candidate that Ghanaian loves to lead MPP. A candidate that Ghanaians have confidence to solve their problems. A candidate that the youth are yearning for to come and create jobs for them. And I know most of the people that voted against me are discerning, they've regretted, and I'm hopeful that this time around, God will lead me through.
Yes, we're going to go for another short break, and when we come back, I'd like to find out more from Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Your name sometimes they say is Akompreku. I'd like to find out whether that's your true name or is a nickname. I mean, Akompreku maybe Ifrihifa. So short break, and when we come back, we'd like to know what this Akompreku thing is about.
Easy and convenience. LPG, let me see your hand.
Yeah, welcome back to Talk Time, and we are in a conversation with Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, hopefully President of Ghana 2029, January 7th. Now, Honorable, I hear people call you Akompreko. What is that? I mean, is that your title? Is that your name?
Akompreko is just a title of those who live along the banks of River Pratt. And because I'm from Asin, the River Pratt area, and the African belief, he said, anybody who has that symbol, you don't eat yam, some kind of yam, we call afasia or whatever. So it's just a kompreku, a warrior, just from the river side. Is not my real name.
So you don't eat afasia?
No.
You believe it?
Yeah, because the first time I was stubborn, I ate, and there were a lot of boils.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so ever since, I've never tried it again.
Okay. But that name is not just about balls, it's about something, it's about strength and so on.
Yes. So it's not my name.
Yeah, but what is it? What does it add to you?
Simply straight talker, fearless guy,
But that seems to be true.
But if he says so.
That appears to be true because you talk freely.
Yeah.
No bones broken.
Yeah, because I'm bold. Right from inception. You can check from Kumasi, at South College, Winneba, and all those things. I've always been a fearless and bold guy. I'm not afraid. I only tell you my peace of mind. And one thing good about me is, let me have an argument with you today. When I leave here, that's it.
Sure.
I don't think about Kwasi Pratt, what I'll do to him. Some people are so malicious. When they speak to you, they go back and sleep over it and what they are going to do.
And 5 years they're planning to get
you. When I speak my mind, that's it. I don't have anything against you,
Honorable, can we spend a little time to talk about the arrangements? There's been a lot of talk about top-down approach, bottom-up approach, and so on. The arrangement for the election of the presidential candidate, are you comfortable with it?
Well, at this point in time, I don't have a choice than to go by whatever they are saying. But I was of the opinion that we start from bottom up. But it didn't work. But it's not, you see, in politics or in a party, it's not everything that you say that you think the whole entire party should accept. So I take it in good faith, whatever decision. Certain times, there are changes that are necessary to be done. So I don't have a problem. Just as I also started talking when Dr. Bawumia was going the thank you tour, I told them that we should give amnesty to all the party people that have left out of annoyance and all those things. And today they granted it, they've given them amnesty. I also spoke against what they do to former chief executives, former constituency executives, former members who have taken key positions and do not have voting right. Nobody can take that credit because I use myself as an example that I've been a member of parliament for 24 years, 6 consecutive terms. Now that I'm no more a member of parliament, I don't have a voting right. How? So by so doing, I added the chief executives, constituency executives, and any member that has played a key role to have a voting right. And it was granted. So now, if you want bottom up, and they say top bottom, why would you disagree? You can't get everyone. You can't win all. You win some, you lose some. They were managed to speak on behalf of the disgruntled people to come back. They've granted it. I managed to speak for all parliamentarians, former parliamentarians, MCEs, and they've also granted it. So if you don't win, bottom up, no problem. But I am true party man. I'm not scared of anything. Because I know the grassroots, they are waiting patiently for me.
Honorable, some of your key supporters, people who really want you to be president, have been injured, they've been beaten, they've suffered all kinds of things. What are you doing for them?
Well, I've apologized on their behalf, on the party's behalf, whatever transpired. And those who were actually beaten during my primaries, I've employed some of them I've given them monies. Just last week, one guy came. When he was talking to me, he started coughing. He went out and he coughed blood. I said, how? I said, well, I've gone to the hospital. They've given me this. I have to go and pay. And I don't have money. I said, what? Blood? Go and do the test. So, how much? He said 15,000. I gave it to him. Because I know the role he played for me. I believe in loyalty. So I've been helping. And the party people, when they come with their needs, those who have been hurt, those who have been beaten, I help them in my own small way. So I think that's what I can do for them. There should have been a policy where the party itself has some coffers with money to solve such problems. Unfortunately, the party, they don't have the money. The two people that I think we didn't treat them fairly were the national executives. They didn't have the power to use their own mind to run the party. They didn't. Because they didn't have money. Nothing. Two, the chief executives, the district chief executives and metropolitan chief executives. During Kufuor's time, monies were going into the assemblies, and the MCEs or DCEs could give contract to the locals. This time, it was completely different. All contracts came from the top. Even their head pump, the contractor brings it to the constituency to construct whatever he's going to construct. President Kufuor's time, carpenters in various constituencies were allowed to produce chairs and tables for schools. This time, contractors, you are there as chief executive and you bring the tables and chairs for a school that you are not even aware. And because of that, they became so unpopular in their constituencies. I want the constituents to forgive them because they were not bold to speak about the challenges they were confronted with. But I knew that they didn't treat the current or just former constituency MCs and DCs like President Kufuor did. That one I have to speak the truth. You can kill me today, tomorrow, I still maintain my position. Some of them were afraid to speak. I remember I met their dean at Achiasi. He lamented this and I told him, why don't you come out? You have to demonstrate. But they kept quiet. And now most of them have become so unpopular in their constituencies because they couldn't speak. I will speak. Today, you see the way I'm talking, I'm calm. I'm not banking on this. I'm not doing that because I'm old. I'm matured. And to confess, I think it was good I lost the first time because the defeat has humbled me. That, that's the good side of it. Probably if I had won the first time, I would have won the general election anyway. I would have been solely headed. And let me tell the MPP people, I happened to be at Liberia President's inauguration. When I was checking, he put me into a hotel. When I was checking in, There were NDC people who were there already in the same hotel. Then one of the guys shouted, "Hey, can Agyapong? So when I turned, then he said, "Hey, Ulusu yedi GO it true champagne." Because my boss or Tuano show style of campaign ideas na no one na machine. The Ulusu yani unzo is a done deal, and they started popping champagne. Yeah, he told me, Liberia. So, MPP for NTNE. MPP for NTNE. They should listen to what Ghanaians are saying. Even the NDC. I will hear President Mahama, my ideas were me and son. I incorporated a. Oh, somebody said, "Oh, we are," and I'm saying, now we party for they don't accept, be accepted. Big deal. And Ghana first. He feels this will help. That first one is students joining the military for military training 6 months, and a couple of them, about 3, that he incorporated into it. Yeah, he wants to develop this country. So I don't have a problem. So MPP people should listen to what Ghanaians are saying, and they should see Kennedy Agyapong as a new brand. You see, the brand is now new. Cool. I'm calm, I'm cool. But I'm full of ideas.
Yeah. Honorable, I'd like to ask about a particular person. That young student who was stabbed during the thank you tour. Where is he? What happened to him?
Oh, I took care of him. Now he's good.
Back to school?
Yeah.
Back to school?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you regret that because of you somebody was stabbed?
Oh, yes. It's unfortunate, but every misfortune is a blessing. I don't say this to disgrace the mother. Through the stabbing, I got in contact with the mother. And now I set her up. So maybe through the son, now she has a capital to do business. See, it's all good. But yeah, thank you. He came to me the other day, the boy himself, came. He's well, he's back. School. But all I'll say is the advice is we shouldn't take politics that far. We shouldn't take politics that far. And if they don't read the Bible, they should go and read. It says, "What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his life?"
You read the Bible?
I did BK, I did RS, and I did theology 3 years.
Well, that's different from believing in it.
I believe in God, yes.
You're a serious Christian?
Yes. Anybody who thinks there is no God, I personally think he's a fool. Because I don't want anybody to come and tell me speaking in tongues means he's a Christian or whatever. No. But what makes me believe, even if it's not God, in traditional religion, they call it omnipotent. The mere fact that, Kwasi, we are here today, around 9-10 p.m., you feel so tired, you sleep, and you don't even know where you are. That alone tells you there's a superior being. And that supreme being can be called God. So I believe in God.
But you're also aware of all these bishops and archbishops who make predictions that never come true, especially with elections.
Yeah.
They also claim to be speaking in the name of God.
But if you read Samuel all the way to 1st and 2nd Kings, you get all these things. Samuel was a man of God, prophet. There were other false prophets. So right from about over 1,000 years ago, there were false prophets and genuine ones. So it hasn't changed.
We are still there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take another short break. And when we come back, this is going to be the last leg of this conversation. I'd like you to assess the current situation where we are today. And honestly, if you look at where we are today, do you think that your party has a fighting chance if you look at where we are today? So when we come back, short break.
Easy and convenient. LPG, let me see your hand.
Well, welcome back to Talk Time, and we are in this conversation with Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Honorable, you say it as it is. Everybody knows that about you. The current situation where we are now, do you think that your party has a fighting chance?
Well, the answer is simple. We have a fighting chance, but depends on the candidate they choose. If they choose Kennedy Agyapong, they have a fighting chance. I'll beat NDC hands down. And I'm going to do it. I have fantastic ideas as I speak to you. See, we go back to what I said. Brilliant at the basics. When I went to Dubai and met a group of businessmen trying to bring businesses to Ghana, and just cherry tomatoes. The demand on European and Asia market, you have no idea. From Accra Place, Pram, all the way to Aflao. What are we doing? What are we doing? I met a guy, he has invested in cannery, tomatoes, factory in Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, and Cote d'Ivoire. He said, when he first got to Senegal, 1 hectare, they were producing 15 tons. Today, they are producing 70 tons per hectare.
Wow.
So economies of scale, they are very, very competitive compared to a Ghanaian farmer who is also producing 15 tons per hectare. The cost of production obviously becomes high. So when I came, I immediately went to Accra and acquired 56,300 acres. Speaking to my Indians and what we want to do, I went to Adidomi. I acquired 30,000 acres at Dakuru, 30,000 acres for ethanol plant. I'm going to do that because I have 4 girls and they are all from Adidomi. Every human being is selfish. Yes.
How many children do you have, by the way?
I have 22. I've always said.
Hey,
yeah, I have 4 girls. 4 girls.
22?
Yeah.
How did you manage it?
Well, I love kids.
Wow.
I love kids. And 4 of them from Volta region, Adidomi.
The girls?
Yes, the girls.
All your girls are from the Volta region?
No.
Oh,
I see 4 of them.
Okay.
So I bought those land to put up the ethanol plant to make sure when I'm dead, they will inherit that and run it. I went to Dubai and met the king of Fujairah, and we're talking of cotton plantation. And when we start from growing cotton to the knitting and everything to get this material, it will employ 45,000 workers. And I've cited Tumu Sisala area that we're going to do it. I know why I want to be president. All these investors, they have confidence when a president is speaking to them than a businessman. It takes a long time to convince them. But if you are president and you unveil your vision to them and they buy into it, they easily buy into it because they have the backing. because of political, instability. So with me as president, I will create jobs for the youth of this country. You have no idea. So we have a political chance, MPP, if they elect me as the flag bearer.
I've been talking to some people, and they paint all kinds of scenarios. And one of the scenarios they paint is a scenario where you have been elected as the candidate of the New Patriot.
This country. And let me praise this man too. We come here, we talk back, and go. You are matured enough. You remember the way we teased or laughed at Agyapong. Now I respect him a lot. You know why? When I went to Sege to acquire the land, they gave me the indenture. When I went to check our lands, Agyapong had acquired 24,000 acres of that land, the 56, for cattle rearing. Dated back 1977. You see the vision? This is the kind of people we need, not the English. Case closed. They will come and tell you interest rate, inflation, GDP. If you are not brilliant at the basics, you cannot achieve your interest rate targets. You cannot achieve your GDP, above whatever that you want. You cannot.
Honorable, finally, you have been elected presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party. The NDC has elected Julius Debra.
Right.
Wow.
I'm not intimidated at all.
Julius Debra.
I'm not intimidated at all.
He's also practical like you.
Well, I have the big vision. You can be practical, but you have to do. I'm a big dreamer. Let me share one of my strategies with you. We have 16 regional capitals. When you move from Accra to Kumasi, Kumasi is active from Friday 6 p.m. to Sunday 2 p.m. Ashanti region is dead. Because there are no businesses there. And you cannot determine the growth of the economy by the market women. No, that is not how you assess growth. So my first approach is that Accra is choked. We have to decentralize most of the ministries. First, Minister of Energy will go to Western Region. 2, Minister of Education will go to Central Region. We give them education. 3, Ashanti Region is big area. You give them lands and forestry and works and housing. Northern Region, you take Minister of Agri because they have huge, vast lands that we can develop. Minister of Trade, Eastern Region. You give Sunyani Environment, Science and Technology. You continue to Upper East. Why? Because when the ministries are moved, one in Greater Accra, all those ministries, we're going to turn the ministry enclave as a financial hub. As a financial hub. Then we'll use why it is easy to start moving the ministries is that all the regional administration in the various regions are underutilized. The capacity. So initially when you move Minister of Energy, you split regional administration in Western Region into 2. When the workers go to Western Region, they begin to rent. People now will begin to build construction. People will make phone calls. People will go to restaurant, market to eat. That's the beginning of growth. Okay? people will stay in the hotel because one transaction may take you about 2 weeks. When you go to Movenpick, I see a lot of whites or foreigners there. They will go. Minister of Tourism will go to Volta region because you know why? Traveling around Volta region, I see the potential in tourism. Odo River, whatever they call, very simple. This young man came to visit me in Dubai and I showed him. This is what I mean. We are going to dredge the Odo River below sea level, clean everything, make sure we sack all those quarters, build affordable restaurants, we put boats, and I've tracked it. It starts all the way from Insawam. So can you imagine the tourism industry? What we are going to do? I showed him another right in the middle of the sea in Dubai. They've created an island. Ghana is the center of the world. And we don't have a hotel with the name center of the world to attract tourists to come to. We are going to build a hotel in the sea. It's possible. I have seen it worked elsewhere, and therefore it's going to work.
Meridian.
Yes.
Honorable, thank you so very much. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you very, very, very much, Honorable. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you also for giving me opportunity.
No, it's good for us. It's good for us.
Thank you.
Maybe better for us than you. So thank you very much for coming. Now, viewers, we've been engaged in a conversation with Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, who wants to be president of Ghana. And he has shown us why he wants to be president of Ghana. First of all, by becoming the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, and then. We hope that he will come back again many times as the campaign intensifies, as the struggle to improve Ghana intensifies and so on. We will pray that he comes back again. But until then, it's goodbye from all of us at Pan-African Television.
For Ekuonaba Television. Free Enekuri Tuesday bia ya wada bia anase Kwasi ada bia saa 3 days me yesi wo se meko live aye live program eye Ghana time no 7 p.m. na ye wo live, that is 2100 CAT. Into person wo live program now we interactive with Asia Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays at 7 p.m. Ghana time 2100 CAT, that is Central African time. Near our life, our Ekuonaba Television, so YouTube, into Fatu Trim, na join your page. Say, Beya, Ubenya program ni biya hinti. Kai so ben like a page, no me adomanos for notification. Subscribe to channel way for more update. Medase.
Hello, Businyafo. Unique laser whitening and mama fishia power fishia pa. Na me kaika said this Christmas Eve. So pay products for papa. I try to do for amana sre, amana dawase, amana love forever and ever dear. And one unique laser whitening product. I say yeah your toothpaste no. I and your mom will do what dance. You use so dear. I am very simple. The only hand is so utuso. Na would you go or brush no so. Na would you chew send swing na come. And your products dear, any tea stains, coffee stains, smoking stains bia unique laser whitening product. Be in free swama come. So we pay a laser no so and no need your gadgets need dear indeed unique. I using the yet very simple. All start here. Open use shade guide no first. I put the shade guide and actual so. Send a how you are improving on the treatment. You using your dinkra. We are not wafa gel no. We gel now and no. Uchuso. We share your gel pen no crana. Which means say indeed unique. What choice no kakra. We say gel no flow through the brush. Now all the fifa. We send you na come. We are. Na wash train. Obi one more say be a on to me and kinkai. There are instructions on how to use a picture form. Instructions on how to use the product. News and your denkra. It could be not toma or duffel this Christmas. Put the gel no fat or sinisuria. Now wash it trade. And then 60 minutes. Now we are more rings when we come and it's this Christmas day. Young Pomodia Yento unique laser whitening product. Young Famaya Dofo not on joy, not on sri, not on love you forever and ever. Unique laser whitening or say money says so.
No bumbo here. Nami papa mudi. Pro Technologies and Nami come from our Pro Technologies. We are specialized in both sales and installation of CCTV cameras. Yes, install CCTV cameras in the Sour Ghana and NASA brochure. Now, if you're Ghana, now, besides CCTV camera installation, we need Pro Technologies and then Source. Yes, CCTV camera installation, electric fence, automated gate, access control, video doorbell, Opadia, man, none wants to that form. Near general construction. So, Pessi, Sufi Dimau, say ya bansoro, then tia, so I shall see, now Pessi. And after na pesi sidima wono woni en eni sawoso ye de wo ni se ye no nyina ne wabochimemu ha ene ye branch ewa Ghana na enim obra wo bre nti so sika fa yensemu a sro bia enim wo dad da edan bi apese osi plan bia and when she saw here solar power and abamba won sensem bia de uni Pro Technologies eni sawoso ye smart home aba fu fidie bi apese hye wo fie ana intercom ebi hujuma eni esanso interior decoration yes fie na mawo ana wa wasi fie na pese siesi hodoma wo se eye office ye betwa ho neat ne wo car tracker ana GPS how betimi dia track your car bibia car ne nam bia wo betima hwe e wo phone so and we just want to fidie bi na wo ko e first install ana ne settings ye beye e ye Ghana office ewo Ashie Adenta Dodoa Road yene CBG ene di animhwe for information or WhatsApp +1 401 75 70 300 and +1 401 69 92 254. Pro Technologies. Customer satisfaction is our topmost priority.
It's centered on your grace.